get a haircut. Okay. Liberty Garden asked a question of me. Said, Seller, what's your opinion of communion and baptism? I'm not going to tell you what to think or what to believe or anything like that. But I believe if you stick with my plan, 6 months to a year, walking with Jesus and the gang, reading the book of Acts, staying out of everything else, avoiding all outside, stuff, I think you'll be able to answer these. You'll be able to find what's right because the Bible tells us so. If you look at the book of Acts and even in the Gospels, there you'll come away with anywhere from 2 to 4 different types of baptism. Little details where things might change up a little bit, but definitely 2. And for some, I don't want to get too into the weeds, but for most people, baptism is, well, you plan this thing, you go to the church, and on Sunday they're going to dunk you, and everyone does it a little bit differently, and like that. A lot of believers think that's all you have to do. Then just go back to being what you did before, and you're good to go. That's not true. I'll do a different video on that. But as far as baptism, an important thing you need to know about baptism is you're making a public statement that you are turning from your ways, your selfish ways, and now turning into the direction of the ways of Jesus, which is selfless. You're going to be following his teachings. He becomes your Lord and Savior, and you're making public acknowledgement of this, that you're no longer walking this way, but you're walking this way. Okay? You're doing that in front of the eyes of everybody, God, all the angels in heaven, all those that got kicked out, and the devil himself. Okay? Communion is a symbolic thing, but it also has a lot of spiritual weight to it. Each gospel, I think at least 3 of the gospels has it, where he says, eat this bread, it represents my flesh. Drink this wine, it represents my blood. I am now in you. And you could pull all kinds of stuff out of that, okay? But it is important, okay? I don't believe it's something that you would just do one day a year, like a Good Friday thing or whatever. I think he says do it often. But like I said, I don't want to get down to the weeds of that. Communion, like I said, stick with my plan. You'll be able to figure out what's right with communion. You'll also be able to figure out what's right with baptism. Because I think over time you get revelation, which will tell you what it is, what you need to be doing. Okay. Like I said, I want to tell you what to think or do or any of that. But if you follow my plan, you'll get it. I'll just put it that way. You'll at least have some clarity to it. But here's something that I, as far as my opinion of communion and baptism. Most of you are familiar with the movie with Tom Hanks called Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks and Matt Damon. I'll explain a little bit just in case, but it's basically there was 4 brothers were sent into, a battle, World War II. 3 get killed, there's 1 left. They figure this out, oh my God, we're going to wipe out this complete family. So the United States military says, hey, we got to go, we got to pull this guy out of there, this Private Ryan, to save this family from further destruction. And so they put together a group of men, a group of soldiers, to hunt this guy down to get him back to safety, get him out of combat, maybe get him back home. Okay. And so we send a group of men to save 1 man. Okay. Long story short, they take a few casualties, get killed off, and they finally get to save this Private Ryan. Then once they've got him, they got to get out of harm's way. More of the guys die in the process. I think only 1 or 2 were left alive after this. I own the movie. It's right here somewhere. And you remember Tom Hanks says, I think towards the tail end there, says, "Be worth it," So anyhow, we send a group of men to save 1. Of almost all of them die in the process of saving him, but they do save him. Okay. Now, flash forward to the future. Here's Private Ryan. He's now an older man. Got his family with him, probably his grandchildren. They're going to the military grave site. The name of it I can't remember. And they go to the site where this man was this Tom Hanks role. They go to his grave site, and he kneels down at the grave site, and this Private Ryan, as an old man now, starts to cry, and his wife says, "What's the matter?" And he looks at his wife and he says, "Was I a good man? Was I a good man?" Okay. I think if he says, and the wife says, "What's the matter with that?" He says, "Was I a good man? Was I worth it?" Okay, he's looking back over his life. He's counted the cost of why he's still alive, how he was saved. He's counted the cost. All those men died to save him. And he counted the cost. He realized what was paid for him to survive. Okay. And he's looking back and needed to have confirmation with his wife. Was I a good man? Was I worth it? Because many died for me. Okay. Great movie. So here's my opinion of communion and baptism. Communion and baptism are utterly worthless, a complete waste of time, and of absolutely no value to you if you do not walk worthy. If you participate in communion, if you participate in your baptism, and you're not walking in the proper direction, if you're not walking worthy of it, if it's not changed you, it is utterly worthless to you. See, the Bible tells you, count the cost. Realize what you're involved in here. I know a lot of people, I've done this myself. Oh yeah, we got this communion thing we got to go do. Oh yeah, I get baptized, and then go back. It's kind of just a stepping stone. It's a big deal. It's a big deal to Jesus. Okay, it needs to be a big deal to us. If you get an idea of what baptism is, you read the Gospels, you read the book of Acts, you see how these people are being baptized in the various ways it seems that they're baptized. It's the biggest deal of their life. And it needs to be that for us as well. So if you're going to participate in communion and baptism, make sure you count the cost and realize you must walk worthy of it. Okay, it's not some little thing. Hopefully that made sense. Great question, Liberty Garden. Love you, God bless.